Oh, okay. Whenever we're ready. Okay. Okay. We are in the historical old school part of Cuenca. I am Lindy. I'm the owner of a little adventure tourism company, Hoodoo Adventures and Expedition Canada. And this is John, our race director of Expedition Canada. And because we're Canadian and we're so nice, we thought that we would do an adventure racing for dummies, that we're here at the Adventure Racing World Series because we want more people to watch that maybe don't understand the sport or don't know. So I'm going to do a little quiz with John on what adventure racing lingo is, so people who want to watch and watch along know more about it and know what they're looking at. So my first question is, John, what is a CP?
Okay, well, I'll get to a CP in just a moment. First off, I want to say, hola, bienvenidos, Cuenca. Welcome to Cuenca. We are so excited to be here. We're having such a great time at the Adventure Racing World Championships. It's happening right now. We were on course all day long, and we decided to take a little bit of a break and join you today. So a CP. CP, 2 letters. CP, checkpoint. So along the race course, that's the goal of what the racers are trying to find along the race course. So sometimes they're in very obvious spots, sometimes they're in not so obvious spots. So in say like a race course like this, which is 600 kilometers long, there's going to be many checkpoints. And along the route, as the racers go through, they'll punch it. Some checkpoints have a punch. Some of the checkpoints today, they actually had to take a photo.
Yeah.
So they had photo clues, and as they went through, they took a picture. And then when they go through, the race organizers will check and make sure that they achieved all of the CPs, checkpoints.
Cool. And okay, and so do you have to get all the checkpoints as a racer?
If you want to win, yes.
Okay. If you miss a checkpoint, are you disqualified?
If you miss a checkpoint, no, you're not disqualified. You're just ranked lower than the other racers.
Okay. And you're heading towards a TA. What is a TA?
A TA, well, that could be many things. It depends what you're asking me.
In adventure racing.
So TA, not T and A.
Yes.
So GA, again, 2 letters. T, transition, A, area, transition area. So that's generally the point that they're going to transition from one discipline to another. So this morning they left on bikes, and then they got to TA1, which was the first transition from bike to trekking, so bike to foot. So along the course, they'll change disciplines. They'll go from bike to foot. They'll go from foot to boat. They'll be in pack rafts later on this evening and through the day tomorrow as well too. And then even like other areas or whatever that they'll come along, they'll find some hopefully something interesting that they'll be able to achieve during the race course as well too.
Awesome. And there's 4 people on a team. Do they have to stay together the whole time, or can they split up and go to different CPs?
Well, with adventure racing, you're only as fast as your slowest member, so you have to all stay together. So when you go into a checkpoint or a transition area, you have to travel as a team. You start as a team, you finish as a team. If you lose a member, unfortunately, that means that you're not necessarily disqualified, but then you're, another term, unranked.
Unranked.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. And how many countries are at the Adventure Racing World Series this year?
Adventure Racing World Series
this World year, Championships, sorry.
World Championships this year has 30 countries.
Cool.
All over the world. The best of the best of adventure racing.
Awesome. And how many Canadians are in the Adventure Racing World Championship this year?
Canada! We have 1 full Canadian team. Expedition Canada is the team.
Our team?
Our team that we're following along. So that's a team of 4 Canadians on that team. Now, on some of the other teams, you don't necessarily have to be all from the same country. So on some of the other teams, we do have some Canadian racers, one of the big teams in adventure racing out there. Of course, everybody in North America knows Bend Racing.
Yes.
So Bend Racing, 4
our
Hour
neighbors
Fuel,
from Oregon.
our neighbors,
Yeah.
and good friends of ours as well. Jason and Chelsea are racing right now with 2 Canadians on their team, and actually on the rankings for the World Championships, they're listed as a Canadian team.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go.
So, and to that point, where people can watch this, which is why we're having this conversation, because we want more people to watch adventure racing that maybe didn't know about the sport, and obviously to us, but not to maybe others, we are hosting the World Championship next year in Canada, and more specifically in my hometown, Penticton. And we would like people to start watching this year and start getting to know adventure racing. And so there is a way for people to watch from the comfort of their home, and it has a special name as well called
Live tracking.
And dot watching.
And dot watching, yes.
Dot watching, yes.
Yeah, so many dot watchers will be up very, very late this evening, following along their teams, following along their friends, their family, and cheering on the racers from all over the world.
Yes, millions of people tune in and watch, and we want millions more to tune in and watch,
yes.
And specifically more Canadians, but everywhere all over the world. And my other question was, so they have rankings, so when you're looking at them, you can see their number as they go along live. Now, they race day and night, right? Day and night, and this course is 500...
Almost 600.
Yeah. Our race next year is going to be
700 kilometers
yes.
of Canadian wilderness.
And do people know the course? Like, I have people ask me, I know these questions, obviously. We're just playing here, but people ask me all the time, I can't find the race course for next year. Where do I find it? Why would they not be able to find the race course for next year?
Okay, so this is very different than a triathlon or an Ironman or a marathon where people know the course, and year in, year out, you're essentially just running the same course and trying to get faster every time. While in adventure racing, the racers do not know the course until literally just before the race starts. So on, say, a race like this one, they didn't even get their maps. They got like one set of maps, like right at the start, and along the race course, they're going to get their next set of maps. So they're sort of getting to their transition areas
yes.
and finding out right then and there what the next part of the course is. But people that are following along at home, that's why you have to tune in. That's why you have to follow the live tracking and the websites, and of course Instagram and Facebook.
Yes.
We'll be posting stories and posts along the way as well too.
Yes, of course. And the thing that I love most about this course, and beyond it's so cool that it's kept a secret. It is challenging for us because we are planning our course for next year and we can't tell anybody about it, so it creates all sorts of challenges. But what I love about adventure racing, and I think one of the things that attracted me to it beyond that connection to the earth and getting out in the wilderness and this teamwork and all that stuff, is the fact that there's all these countries involved. And last year we were in South Africa. This year we're in Ecuador. There is different qualifying races around the world. Can you explain how that works a little bit? Because we started in Canada as a qualifying race and now we're hosting, but what does it mean to be a qualifying race?
Yeah, so qualifying races, those are races that are just sort of getting into the ARWS, like Expedition Canada did 4 years ago as well too. So along that as well too, during the year, there's actual qualifying or qualifiers for the World Championship. So racers that'll go to those races, they'll actually win a spot to go, like a free ticket, like the golden ticket, to come to Canada next year. And the racers that did that this year, those are the top teams that have ranked above all the other teams for those qualifier races.
Yes, and our Expedition Canada team last year, they raced in Chile, Croatia, so they got to travel around towns too. And what that means for us in Canada next year, and for all of these communities like Cuenca here and all of the small communities that this race is visiting, it's like a huge economic boost for them. It's so important for tourism, and it's a long-term thing. So it's not something where people just come and they go. There is so much footage and content and coverage of these beautiful areas that we're visiting that go out to the rest of the world, and they get to watch and see. So for example, I have already text messaged my girlfriends, my parents, all my people at home, and I am like, we're going to Ecuador. We're coming back. This is a great place to visit, and I already have many people that are going to come just because of this event.
Yes.
So that is a huge thing for adventure racing and a huge impact that it has, and that's part of the reason why we want to grow the sport amongst all the other beneficial things. So is there anything else about adventure racing that I didn't remember to say? We could talk more over the next few days about it as we...
There's probably about 10,000 things that we need to like bring people up to speed that don't know about adventure racing. But the best way to do it is just to follow along.
Yes.
Go on the social media, follow along. ARWS. That is where all of the footage is going to. We're posting on Expedition Canada as well too. I'm posting back in Manitoba for Swamp Donkey AR.
And just so everybody knows, ARWS is the Adventure Racing World Series, and they are the like umbrella
governing body.
Body for adventure racing that all of these qualifying and world championships are underneath. And other than that, we'll touch base over the next few days because we are here. The race course is open for 5 more days, I believe.
5 more days.
5 more days, and so we'll be out there checking everything out. And cheer on Expedition Canada, Team Expedition Canada, and Team Bend, and James Gallipo's on an Ecuadorian team.
Ecuador pack rat.
Yes, and he is Canadian as well. So please get online, cheer everybody on, spread the word. It's coming to Canada next year, and check out beautiful Ecuador because it's so amazing, and we're so excited to be here.